Okay. When we're talking about making an offer for our customer, and we've already disclosed who we work for, and we've talked about fair housing, and we've talked about the potential to represent more than one buyer and seller, and also the likely possibility that there could be scams abound and that could create wire fraud. Now we get into the actual writing of the offer, the whole body of the residential purchase agreement. Okay. As we start off, we want to make sure we fill in the blanks, guys. These are pre printed, pre done legalese documents that we're merely filling in the blanks. It's important that you understand that. We're not writing in new language, we're following with a flow that's been drafted by legal professionals in order for us to do our jobs more effectively. So let's make sure we're filling in the blank. All legal contracts have to have a beginning and an end date. They all have terms. We only have the ability to sell something that's real and legal, like a property. So that's what this section is all about. Section 1 of the residential purchase agreement. First thing we're going to do is write the date of the offer. When did we prepare the offer? We also want to let them know who's making the offer. Who is that buyer who is going to be the one to purchase this property? That's line item 1A. Line item 1B would be the actual property itself. So we have what's called the common address, which is the street address, 1234 Radius Road, and it's located in San Francisco, in the county of San Francisco and in the city of San Francisco. The zip code and the assessor's parcel number, also known as the APN number. That APN number is super critical because that's the identifier that's linked with the property itself. That goes along with the legal description. You can't just put the property address because there may be 123 Radius Road in Oakland or in LA or in San Diego. So you want to make sure that you are including the legal identification, which is known as the assessor's parcel number. Okay. And then, of course, the terms of the purchase are specified below. So let's get into what are the terms of the purchase, meaning how much am I going to offer? What does that look like? So we have, we talked about agency, which is who represents who. Do we represent the seller or do we represent the buyer? In line item 2B, it confirms what our agency relationships are. Seller's brokerage firm, cooperative broker. We're going to check that box directly below. I represent the seller exclusively. You have an opportunity to check the seller, both the seller and the buyer, which would be known as a dual agent. If that is in fact the case, you're going to be putting the seller's agent's name in that additional section where it says seller's agent and their license number. Again, it's important to fill out all the blanks. It's very easy to find the license number of the brokerage itself. And remember, it's the brokerage who represents the customer, and the agent is merely the representative of the brokerage. Same is true with the buyer's brokerage, which is what we're concerned about. So the brokerage name would be Radius Agent and our license number. And then who is the representative of Radius Agent in this transaction? That would be your name and your license number. That's in line item 2A of the residential purchase agreement. Okay. And the possibility that there may be competing buyers and sellers. Again, we talked about this with agency, and we talked about this with the potential to represent more than one buyer and seller. Okay. Guys, it's important that you get very familiar with the terms of a contract in order for you to be very proficient in what you do as a real estate professional. All right, guys, thanks for participating as always, and we'll see you in the next session.